All right, let's be honest. A lot of the financial advice out there is written for people who need to cap their spending. They need to be told, no, not that latte, not Starbucks, go to Timmy's. They need to be told, yeah, not Saks Fifth Avenue, go to Target. A lot of what's out there is designed for the person who is trying to make the dollar stretch. But for you, that woman who's earning 100, 200, 300,000 plus and more every year, that advice, it's not just unhelpful, it's insulting because you're just not there. But you still need support. You still need help. If you have ever tried on this budget thing and it felt like you were wearing something that's just multiple sizes too small for you, it just doesn't fit, well, this episode is for you. Listen to me and listen to me well. Traditional budgeting is built on restriction. For the level that you're at, you need wealth architecting, and that system is built on alignment. So we're gonna replace that B word. Yeah, not that other B word. We're gonna replace the word budget with values-based resource allocation. It's a mouthful, but it really changes things. Welcome to this episode of Catalyst Conversations. I'm your host, Hadriana Leo, and I hope you're ready. Let's dive right in. Okay, so here's a pendulum swing that I see happening very often. Women who have the money, women who are earning well, often oscillate between two extremes. Either they are extremely saving or they're extremely spending. Either they are saving until it hurts or they have this guilt-ridden spending experience. I like to say it's either they are repenting or they're rebelling. And in these two extremes, they're not happy. Neither of these two extremes leave them feeling seen. It doesn't leave them feeling purposeful or productive. I see these women who have the means, like you have the money, you can afford to fly business class. You can afford to fly first class, and not even for you, just for you. You can take the whole family business class or first class. You can hire a full-time manager for your household. It's not about the size of your house. It's about all the tasks you don't want to be doing. You can have someone actually run the house for you so that you're free to do other things, but you feel guilty doing it. You feel that twinge that says, oh, but what's it going to look like? What are people going to say? How are they going to view me? What happens if I have a financial downturn and I have to let them go? How's it going to look? So instead, you go the other way and you start pinching pennies. You start saving like your life depends on it. You start handling your money like the miser down the street, and that drains you so profoundly. While you're saving and counting pennies, your most valuable asset is being depleted, your energy. And nobody thinks that by saving, you're depleting yourself. Everyone thinks that, let me save, and, the more that savings accumulates, the better I will feel, the more I will, the better it'll look and all of that. But your energy, your joy is just being depleted. Well, I've got a fix for you if you're willing to explore that with me. Because here is another truth. Until you experience alignment in how you earn and in how you use your money, no matter how much money you make, you are going to feel purposeless. You're going to feel listless. You're going to feel like it's just not landing. It's just not connecting. It's just not happening for you. So understand that what I'm about to share with you is not about spending recklessly. When I talk about unapologetic enjoyment as the optimal experience you want to have with your wealth, I am not asking you to spend and spend and spend. That is actually the other extreme, one of the two extremes of that pendulum swing that I shared earlier. Yes, you will spend, but unapologetic enjoyment is actually about identifying maybe 2 or 3 areas of your life that bring you the most joy and fulfillment, and consciously, intentionally funding those 2 to 3 areas at a world class level without shame, without guilt, and without having to think about what anyone else has to say about it. Unapologetic enjoyment is about your freedom, your purpose, your one shot at having the life that you dreamed of. Unapologetic enjoyment to that woman who is earning fabulously well, but still experiencing guilt when she spends her money. Unapologetic enjoyment is about your ultimate freedom. So, let's talk about what it's going to take for you to establish that freedom fund. When we look at values-based resource allocation, we are going to be connecting the thing that we value, the areas of our life that bring us joy, the things that actually help us feel whole, help us feel well, help us feel connected and purposeful, and all that good stuff. We're connecting that to the intentional decisions that we make with our money. And when these come together, we create freedom. So we establish freedom funds. Understand that this is not an emergency fund. It's not just an emergency fund. For some of us, the freedom fund is the capital that allows us to walk away from some opportunities that no longer align. For some of us, that means we can walk away from the job that is just draining our vitality. The Freedom Fund can do that. The Freedom Fund allows us to travel and have experiences around the world, or maybe even in your neighborhood, that create those lasting memories for yourself and for your family that is just irreplaceable. That freedom fund is not about surviving an emergency. That freedom fund is about funding your joy and creating a world-class experience without having a hint of shame. I want you to contrast 2 things. The level that you're at now with your finances forces you, or should force you, to contrast standard of living versus signature living. Now, the standard of living is what you think you should spend based on your peer group. And understand this too, I should probably throw that in here. Your peer group may not have changed as your income increased. So your peer group still informs how you think you should spend money. So picture this. You have moved up in the earnings bracket, but your peer group or your friends group or your circle of influence may still be experiencing some financial drawbacks. Maybe they still have not earned up to your level, and your peer group is still informing what you think you should spend. So imagine that discrepancy in how you're feeling. Imagine the conflict internally, where you're going to go on a vacation with your family or maybe with a group of friends, and you really want to fly first class, but your friends are not able to fly first class because they just can't afford it. You know what typically happens? You settle. You say, you know what, I'm going to fly economy with everyone else. You hate it. Or maybe you're okay with it, but you were shamed into it or you were guilted into it. That is not an optimal experience. The standard of living approach to how you manage your money It is one that has to be let go of because someone else typically is setting the standard. The standard of living approach is based on generalities, averages, it's based on an external metric. Instead, I'd love for you to take the approach of signature living. Signature living is as unique as your John Hancock on the line. Signature living is different for everyone because it is a unique experience aligned with who you are and how you experience the world, how you experience your relationship with money, how you experience wealth. Signature living is aligning your finances, your lifestyle, your impact with your very soul. And I don't mean that in any light way. Signature living is bringing your unique best life experience to how you curate your life. And it will show in your finances, it will show in your nutrition, it will show in your relationships, it'll show in how you invest in yourself and in others. Choose signature living. Choose signature living because when you are experiencing signature living, you are in alignment. Your money now starts moving in a way that it's not forced, in a way that is not guilt driven, in a way that is not entrapping you. Signature living is you all over your money, not your money all over you. Signature living puts you in the driver's seat. Signature living is connecting you, who you are, how you want to experience the world with how you move and enjoy your wealth. So, going after unapologetic enjoyment is essential for you as you move through these stages of wealth. You cannot still be operating from that position of where you were, 3, 4 promotions ago. You cannot still be operating like a college or university student, trying to afford your struggle meals when you are in the place of that CEO seat where you are now coordinating and driving solutions, impact, creativity, and you have the income to show for it. So, how do we sort through all of this? I want you to take the same mindset you have at work and deploy it to your wealth. You are the CEO of your wealth, and we're bringing that same mentality to your spending. So you have already mastered, the earning side of things. You're able to negotiate your salaries. I certainly hope you are. And if you are not negotiating your salary, you need to get a lawyer, some sort of legal counsel on your side to negotiate for you because your employer certainly has that. And if you are a founder, if you are a business owner, most certainly you need to be negotiating those prices that reflect your worth and your value to your ideal clients. So having said that, you need now to master being the CEO of your spending. We need to start allocating some resources to different departments within your life experience. So measure your ROI based on realistic expectations of the performance for each department. So understand that if you are deploying money towards your joy, you may not get money back. You may not get an ROI in the same form. So you might be putting forward $10,000 for a vacation, investing and spending based on your joy. You're not going to get money back. But listen, what you don't get back quantifiably, you will get back in the quality of your life. You will have that joy. What are some of the departments you would consider spending on? Manage your spending towards your future legacy. Spend on your future. Spend and invest on life when you choose not to work. Spend and invest on the vacation time that you will actually take. Spend and enjoy your strategic growth. Spend towards your strategic growth. Spend towards your family. Spend towards your causes that bring you joy. Spend towards your lifestyle because you want comfort as far as it is possible, so that when you've gone out, you have spent your energies doing wonderful things in the marketplace. You can come back to a lifestyle that gives you the necessary comforts that will rejuvenate you, that will lift you up, that will fill you up, so that you can go out there and do that special thing that you do full, content, complete. Spend in the departments of your life that will give you the ROI you need so that you can rinse and repeat. Spend like a CEO. Certain departments need more of an infusion depending on the cycle or season of your wealth journey. Don't be afraid to deploy cash to those departments. Spend meaningfully, spend in alignment, and yes, spend unapologetically. You do not need to explain why you're spending. When you're spending after having done the work of alignment and values exploration, no further explanations are required. So spend confidently, spend unapologetically. And please know this, you didn't do all of this work to settle for a life that was just fine. When someone asks you, how are you? You'll say, I'm okay. You've worked too hard for that to be your response. You've worked too hard to just settle for whatever someone else has defined for you and accepted, even though deep down you know something is missing. You have worked this hard to build a life of purpose, to build a life of impact. Your money needs to reflect that. Not to show off to anyone. That is an external reactionary metric, but for you to feel and be well, for you to feel and be whole. My mantra, healthy, wealthy, whole. It encapsulates everything about who I am, and my money contributes to that. Your finances need to contribute to you being healthy, wealthy, and whole. And when we are well, especially as women, that wellness flows through to those in our circle of influence, to our family, to our spouses and partners, to the causes that we want, to our communities. When we are well, girls, everyone else that we touch has an opportunity to also choose to be well based on our influence. Listen, if you're ready to stop restricting, stop with the budgeting and the cost cutting and slashing, and actually start architecting your wealth, you really need to head over to my website, moneynavigator.ca. Find that resources page and go through some of the resources that are on there that were designed just for you. You won't see anything about cutting hair, slashing there. We're talking values-based resource allocation. We're talking about freedom funds. We're talking about all of those things that actually move you from restriction to unapologetic enjoyment and purposeful living. Specifically, I'd like you to consider the 5 shifts of unapologetic wealth. Go in there, download the guide, and experience how you can align that high income with your highest values. It's there for you. It's a starting point. If nothing else, you have that blueprint available to move you from budgeting to strategic values-based resource allocations. It's been my pleasure today. I hope you have found this episode helpful. Until next time, I'll see you on the other side. Take care.